If there is a meat fear, the dragon ceiling is probably the first thing that comes to your mind. Is Tyrannosaurus rex water? Raw dinosaurs are kanglong, which is the representative of the top of the food chain. The dinosaurs mentioned today are larger in size than even hard-to-lift ceilings exist for Tyrannosaurus rex. He is not only at the top of the food chain on land, but also the first top predator in the water was around 9,300 years ago, the early Cretaceous period, between 110 million and 120 million years ago. The eastern part of the La Desert was once the estuary triangle with plenty of food, a unique and mysterious giant carnivore in this prehistoric paradise. Lush vegetation, dinosaurs ruled the waters, and on land, it's Geelong, the largest known meat on Earth. One of the predatory dinosaurs, Geelong, was the kind of terror that you can recognize at a glance. Every feature of the dragon, it seems to challenge our traditional understanding of amphibians. They're hugely large, and adults can be anywhere from 15 to 17 meters long, weighing about 4 to 8 tons. This value is no less fierce. Tyrant. Wang Long's most striking genus is the sails on its back. These structures formed by spinal nerves and extensions are 1.8 meters tall, extending from the back of the head to the front of the tail. These long ridges are covered by epidermis, formed a spectacular turning pile structure for this terrorist. Horrible back flips are thought to provide heat exchange and build up the body for opponents. There is another way to say it. Yes, it is true as flipped. Use can increase Geelong's stability in water, qualitative, and provides faster attack speed when preying on schools of fish. Very different from other theropod dinosaurs. Long has a long, crocodile-like mouth and round teeth. The skull is about 1.75 meters long, and the snout is not narrow, very suitable. Therefore, it is speculated that one of its main food sources may be fish and other creatures in the water. The forelimbs of the dragon were much longer than those of other large theropod dinosaurs like Tyrannosaurus rex. Hunting with hind limbs. The force is relatively less extreme, allowing it to enough for more moving and supporting weight in a balanced fashion. This is an adult Geelong taking a nap. We see it up close. It has the mouth of a crocodile and the teeth of a dense round sole. The skull is about 1.75 meters long, and the mouth and nose are narrow. It's perfect for fishing. Geelong, like most animals, uses its mouth. With the baby in his mouth, he will protect Chow Geelong until he can survive on his own. They are, but according to scientists, there is a high probability that Geelong is taken care of by his father. The cub may be due to the mother of Geelong. We were too weak to bear the burden of hunting and defending against powerful enemies. I can only leave it to my father to guard, protect them. You see, Geelong is like a fish underwater. It uses its tail to provide power, and the pups are also trained to carry out water in a relatively safe environment. Next practice, but dangerous. The danger could have come from somewhere else, such as this pup getting entangled in aquatic plants. If you don't break free quickly, it is likely that will suffocate to death. Fortunately, Dad didn't go far, but little Geelong was choked enough because food shortage. Dad is leading several cubs to their next destination. However, he must remain vigilant at all times because danger is everywhere. Like this lake lurks. Several species of ferocious crocodiles, of course, may also break into the territory of other beasts. After 2 gestures in the air, the father took the cub. Moving on, luckily they encountered a behemoth that had just died. The first 14 meters of a Titanosaurus weighing 60 tons. It may be due to old age and falling asleep. This is a great opportunity for the Geelong family. God's gift. But when the cubs are ready to enjoy it, met a nemesis and killed an adult. Daddy Geelong was unwilling to leave, so the 2 top predators began to compare the world. Geelong shows sharp front claws and kills teeth. Dragons have thicker hind limbs and sharper teeth, which are lethal, weighing the pros and cons. Then Dad did it again. Quit. He can only carrying on with the few northern noses on an hungry stomach, but misfortune ensued. A fishing teams. Little Geelong is still being hunted, and the father can only roar with anger. Helplessly lead the remaining cubs to continue moving forward. They have finally arrived at the breeding grounds of the Kiln of Paradise in Geelong, where his young men can get more food with. There is also a dispute between the classes, a larger Geelong. I took a fancy to my dad's place. After a contest, he forced his father back, helpless. You can only go to the deep water area to catch prey. After failure again and again. Then, Dad changed his strategy and finally caught a giant bite. He excitedly carried his prey ashore, but it was attacked by the enemy just now. After some time, fighting to defend their own, Loot watches a group of hungry cubs enjoying a delicious meal. Make sure they can survive here on their own. Walking into the distance, the battle just now caused him to be injured, and his consciousness gradually blurred. In the end, we slowly fell to the ground and fell into a permanent slumber. Silently bid farewell to this great Geelong milk. Dad, when most dinosaurs were still competing for supremacy on a sunny continent, there was a lone. The lone hero has taken over the ends of the earth, and although he does not live on an ice sheet, he has been left behind. The visitors explored the possible survival of dinosaurs in a cold land. He was the ice dragon, the ruler of the far south in the early Jurassic period. Let's go back to the early Pearlogic, about 900 million years ago, reconstructed from paleogeography. At that time, the southern part of Pangaea, including Antarctica, was located in the highlands of southern latitudes, although the fossil is in the south. It was discovered by the pole, but the continent was not there at the time. The current Antarctic location is also not permanently covered by glaciers. As for the polar day and polar night, the climate here is mild enough to support forest growth, but it is far from tropical. Taste it. We must contend with significant annual temperature differences, cooler seasons, and relatively mild but persistent temperatures. Winter in this land that is estranged from other dinosaur kingdoms. An ice dragon is about 6 to 8 meters long and weighs 500 kilograms. It is agile, and the top speed can reach 40 kilometers per hour. Theropods became the only dinosaurs known to live in such a high-dimensional environment. The largest surviving scavenger. The eater is the most awake. The target marker is that amazingly thin blade-like bone on the crown of the head. The crown of the skull, but megalobiologists reasoned that it was too brittle. Weak should not be a weapon. Most likely it is part of a delicate visual communication system. It can be similar to the head crown of the Diacrosaurus mentioned by the superior. The cold edge of the land may not be very high, which is used for the recognition and courtship of the same kind to demonstrate the performance. It's fast enough to find its own kind and be efficient enough to sustain that nucleus. Heart problems emerge. In this energy acquisition, there may be a strong seasonal. How does it survive in its environment? The strategy is likely to be deeply rooted in this unique high-dimensional rhythm and its light body. Type suggests outstanding athletic efficiency rather than absolute strength. It could be a highly flexible, opportunistic hunter. Food. A wide range of species, from early mammalian fish to any available. Meat is actively stored in the warm season when resources are abundant, and in the cold season when everything is bleak. It may need to rely on sharper senses and lower energy consumption strategies to survive. So let's have a look at this image of a pack of glaciers moving around. They graze on grass. They're about the same length, but weighs up to 5 tons, basically 10 times its weight. Extremely difficult to kill. But this head, the Iron Ice Ridge dragon quietly approached the dragon group and waited for an opportunity to strike. Unexpectedly, the Glacier Dragon group was alerted. The good guy sneak attack directly became. In a panic, the Glacier Dragon quickly fled. Fortunately, it maintained its formation, running around. Despite their weight, they really float when they run for their lives. The S shape is very flexible. The ice kilong was also angry and gave up chasing for a long time and drove them to the river. At this time, the glacier dragon can only fight against him, roaring and trying to hide his fear. And just as the battle was burning, suddenly, the roar of another ice ridge came from nearby. The dragon turned around and left. Sure enough, he found another female. It's a great thing that a good sex guy doesn't even want his prey in order to reproduce the population. To be honest, the ice dragon is really. The true legend is not that it conquers certain extremes, climate, but in that it represents a bold niche opening. In the early days of the dinosaur dynasty, he was the first to demonstrate the survival of large predators. Life mode can successfully adapt and occupy this. Far from the equator, in its cold new home, the ice goose was a great pioneer. He showed us that the dinosaur empire was far more distant than we thought. The script of life's adaptation to the environment has long been outside the warm main theme, wrote a calm and tenacious prologue.